Welcome to The Glue with Dom Lacola and P. Bunk.
What's going on? What's good?
What's happening, brother? How are you?
Good, man. How are you? How you
I'm
doing
feeling
today?
good.
Yeah?
Feeling very positive.
Why's that?
It's just, I think it's that time of year. My birthday's coming up on the 21st, and I feel like September is like this hyperbolic time chamber for me.
I do enjoy the weather, a nice hoodie, some shorts still,
Oh, yeah.
Just keep it funky.
Yeah,
You know?
you open that fucking closet, and then you're like, oh, I have these 6 sweatshirts?
Oh, I forgot about them,
Yo,
bitches.
I got this at the Dirty Heads show.
So that song that you heard, it sounded like a warped version of the song, but
Yeah.
that I wanted to bring that up because one of the lines in it, you go something about I want to go to Japan and for blah 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 blah, and we
Yeah.
did that like what 8, 9, 10 years ago,
Probably, man.
And
Probably something like that.
and you went,
I did go.
yeah.
It was a long time goal of mine, and I've always been super into Japanese culture, and ever since I was a kid. And that was on my list of things I really need to do for myself.
What is it about Japan? As a kid from Rosendale, Mass,
Yeah.
which we both are.
Yeah. So
where does the fascination?
It's
of Japan?
multi-layered. If you're coming at it from when I was a kid, I obviously loved anime. I loved Japanese video games. I loved Pokemon, and I believe it was just natural for me to be, fixated on fantasy things because I love fantasy because I think our world is kind of daunting. But later in life, I got a bonsai tree. I took Shimgum-do, which was a one-handed katana
God bless you.
class, and that was like some Zen monk thing, though. It wasn't Japanese.
Okay.
But then I started taking martial arts, Muay Thai kickboxing and boxing.
So I went to one of your fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where was that, Lowell?
Fall River.
Fall River. Dude, you beat that boy's ass.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. There was only 2 amateur fights.
Did you win both of them?
I won them both. I never lost in the ring.
So why did you stop?
I stopped because I hurt my hand punching the top of someone's head, and I got like kind of a boxing fracture. And then I couldn't use my right hand in the gym, and the gym was my life. I was in there 5 days a week for, taking several classes and running in the morning. And, I really wanted to be this machine. I think that was the only thing that made sense in my life then. And I think, wait, what was the point we were getting at?
Japan, fighting.
Yeah, because I could go off on that. That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people ever want to hear about my adventures in fighting. I'm not a professional or anything, but I
think it's funny
I
though.
moved to California and I trained at a gym there at Legends Gym. Uriah Faber trained like right behind me, and
oh shit,
Boss Rutan's best student was my teacher.
Wow.
And he taught me how to do elbows better than anybody I'd ever been taught by. And there's all these things that I think at a glance, it's easy when you're growing up to kind of glaze over things, and so, well, this is where I was in my life. But when you have time to think about what other people have done and what you've done. Not that it's great to compare yourself to people, but I took a risk, and I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment where it was like, we shared the common area.
This is in Cali?
No, this was in West Roxbury, Rosendale, before I moved.
Gotcha.
And my buddy asked me, it's like, do you want to move to California with me? Like on AIM, Instant Messenger.
Oh, shit.
And it was like the middle of the night.
What was your
My
username?
room was dark. Nick Shady.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, hotter than a set of twin babies. And a Mercedes Benz with the windows up when the temp goes up to the mid 80s. Calling them in late. All right.
You got that out of your system?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Doc, but I've been crazy.
So, anyways, you weren't living in the basement with your buddy.
Yeah, it wasn't a basement, but it was actually a liberating place to live. I don't want to talk down on it because it was a transformative time in my life. But we moved to California. We didn't have anything but our suitcases. We didn't have a place to live. We were living at motels and hotels for a couple of weeks and kind of spending irresponsible amounts of money on that. And then we were living in the Figueroa, I think it's called, right near the business district downtown. And it gets a little seedy real quick,
Oh yeah.
Like one woman hugged me from behind at the bus stop, and turns out I was like on near Compton. And
Did you get her number?
yeah, we hung out. But
Okay.
no, she had like that Barbie lipstick on. Like, do you know the ones that come with like the kids' toys?
I'm not familiar. I do have a daughter, but I'm just not familiar. So I
So it's like
apologize.
almost, yeah, it's not very high quality makeup.
Yo, how do you know about it though?
Well, come on, dude.
What
I had
happened
G.I.
was,
Joes when I was a kid.
yeah,
The big, the tall ones.
Yeah.
They had girlfriends.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
But
hear
they
you.
weren't mine. They were my cousins.
Gotcha,
Barbies.
gotcha.
The guys, they come back on leave and they want to go on a date.
Okay. All right. So, all right. She hugged you from behind.
Yeah.
You got her number.
Yeah, no, I did not get her number. I was very scared. She said, "My nephew, I missed you. I haven't seen you in forever." And I was like, "Whoa, get off of me. Hold on a second. I don't know who you are." Then she immediately, "What? You're not my nephew?" Blah, blah, blah,
Dude,
blah, blah, yelling at
dude,
me, right?
crack is
and I'm
a
like,
hell
"Oh
of a
my
drug."
God, what's going on?" I just walked by a piñata store, and there was like several of them, and I'm just like, this is
Several
weird on
pinatas or
yeah,
several.
piñata stores.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm thinking, this is weird, dude, because this woman walked down the street, broad daylight, we're sitting at the bus stop, pulls down her pink sweatpants and just takes a shit on the middle of the
Oh
sidewalk.
my God.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of shit was it? Was it nasty? Was it like an emergency?
So I think I don't really remember what the shit was like.
You were just so traumatized. You didn't okay.
I didn't. Yeah, I might have looked at it and said, "Oh my God,"
Yeah. Damn, that's nasty. Yeah, and that's LA, right?
That's L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right near Skid Row, which was
Yeah.
the problem, and saw mad people dealing crack and doing crack.
Dude, people are leaving California
like an exodus.
like an exodus right now.
Yeah,
due to
man.
what's going on.
They are in trouble, Bucko. And I was just
Big
talking
time.
to my mother on the way over, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, my cousin's over there. He lives in San Francisco, and I've got another friend in North California, and she's like, yeah, sometimes you wake up and it's, all blacked out. Not blacked out, but like looking post-apocalyptic. And they had a huge drought for a long time. And, that's kind of a telling sign for a place when it's changing that drastically. And we don't have the social responsibility to, like, we have to pay for what we do, I think, as a people. And most people wouldn't want to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
But California is one of those places. I mean, there's a super volcano under it. Scientists have been wondering when that thing's going to blow. They're on a massive fault
It's
line.
also governed terribly.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, COVID sped the exodus up like a lot quicker than it probably would have.
Yeah.
Because people are like, wait a second, I'm here because there's, I'm realizing that there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of, and when
Yeah.
you can't,
See the traffic.
yeah, and when you can't go anywhere and you're stuck and there's still a lot
Yeah.
of people and you're on top of each other,
Yeah.
and you're paying a crazy tax, they're like, all right, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, right. Because we've been wanting to be more secluded as a society. I think that's what we're being what's being pushed on us.
What's crazy though is these big cities, people leaving or businesses not opening back up because
Yeah.
they're working virtually,
Yep.
right? So even myself, I work downtown Boston. There's no reason for me to go back.
Like
I
in
can
person.
work in person.
Yeah.
Unless it's a big meeting, I
Yeah.
can work at home.
Right.
And times that by 400 people in my company.
Sure.
Next thing you know, are we going to need that big building downtown?
Man, they're very transformative times. It can be very overwhelming for some folks. I try to get above it and outside of it, and like, I think I like to be like a beacon for people almost. So I know a lot of people
What the fuck does that mean?
come to me with their shit. Like a lot of people come to me with their, and I want to help them. So it's not like I'm saying I'm some guiding light, but I think it's nice to help other people in our lives. People we're friends with. We don't talk enough with one another, losing a sense of community, and I think that's a big, like if I was making a list of things that we need to fix with our culture, that would be really high up top. Because when you don't have that sense of community, like that tribalism where you feel like you're in it with other people, then why do you care about the next person? If you're just in your house all day and you're streaming or you're on conference call, not even dealing face to face with people, why are you going to care about anybody else but you and yours? So I think that's a big problem. I did want to get in. We have a bunch of topics to discuss because we could ramble on about that. But
Correct.
this is people's first exposure to the glue.
The glue.
Unless we put out the preview one, which I'm not sure if we're going to do yet.
Who knows? We'll talk about it.
Yeah. That's the beauty in it.
The glue, it's funny we named it the glue during that because we realized that, well, you told me on our road trip, which we'll talk about in a second, that La Cola stands for the glue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and I never knew that prior to a few weeks ago. I always thought it was some French. My dad would always say it was a French derivative name, and then my mother told me it actually translates literally la is the, and cola in Italian is glue. So it literally translates to the glue, and it's going to be ineffective now, but the build-up for that story was I was telling her that I kind of feel like the glue in a lot of, like you said, like a linchpin in a lot of situations where I'm dragging person A and C to hang out with B, even though B wouldn't normally hang out with C, not because they don't like them, but just how things are. You know how people get with plans and all that. So I thought that was very interesting, and it really resonated with me.
Do you know what? Did I tell you what bunker stands for?
No.
Good heart.
Good heart.
Yeah.
So from where? Like, where are you drawing that meaning from in history?
Google. I went to Google.com. Yeah.
Google.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You could just type things in there and they give you the answer.
So, but they didn't say, this is because of the French province of...
No, I mean, bun means good, and then cor means heart. So together it's good heart.
All right.
It'd be like
respect.
that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the road trip a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
So...
Why don't you set it up, because you were the reason I think it came about.
Yeah. So I've worked at my company for 17 years. In the 15th year, once you hit 15 years, they give you a 5-week sabbatical.
Yeah.
Where you can do, you get paid 5 weeks off. It doesn't align with your vacation time. That's separate. So one thing I wanted to do was go on a road trip. I always wanted to go on a road trip and not have any plans.
Yeah.
Just like get up one day and go.
It's very liberating.
It's awesome. So yeah, the road, 5 weeks, and they told me like the first week it's very important that you leave your house. And that's if you're going to go on a trip during your 5 weeks of sabbatical, it should be the first one because then you can really check out. And I completely checked out. I deleted my emails off my phone. I was like ready for this. Oh, baby.
I was feeling good.
I was feeling good. And you were the perfect person to take because
dude.
you don't have any responsibilities. You don't have any kids. You don't have a wife.
This isn't true.
I mean, you got some
I've
responsibilities.
got minor responsibilities.
Yeah. But you could afford
That'd
to
be a good
take
band name, Minor Responsibilities.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'd be good to take because I don't have any respect for anyone.
Plus, you and I we can just vibe. You and I,
That's
we're on
true.
the same wavelength.
We played music together. We wrote music together.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have set that up for everyone.
Yeah.
Should we give him some context on, or did we do that in the last one?
We did that in the last one.
Okay, we'll release that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, the idea was to just get up and go. We knew we were going to go south. And because I think what's really interesting is COVID during this time, right?
Mm-hmm. The timing.
I had to take it. Otherwise, I would lose the sabbatical. So it's not ideal to have 5 weeks off when the world is going to shit.
Not ideal, no.
Not ideal.
We've been living in very non-ideal times.
Yeah. But I was determined to make the best of it. So the idea was to go down the East Coast, hit up some beach towns, and just go somewhere, spend the night, wake up the next day, and decide to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which I'm proud to say we did. We didn't really have
a
plan.
plan. We did do it.
So the first place we went was the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, but where did we stop on the way? That's more important.
New Haven, Connecticut.
And we decided that about 30 minutes before we were in New Haven. And I even called, what was it? The name of the pizza, Sally's
the Beats.
And Frank Pepe's.
Mm-hmm.
And we could place a pickup with Frank Pepe's, but you can't connect to Sally's a pizza.
Right.
It's just not an easy thing to do. I called them 15 times before they picked up.
They're like, that's their thing. They don't answer the phone.
They don't answer the phone. But then they finally answered it, and they were like, all right, it's going to be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I said, what?
So we'll hit it on the way back. But we did go to Frank Pepe's in New Haven. For those who don't know, New Haven, Connecticut has the best pizza. It was, I mean.
Oh, boy.
Boy,
if I had another one of them pies in front of me, oh, man.
That thing just melted on my tongue.
I put a whole mess of that pizza down me.
Yeah.
You know?
As advertised, I would say, right?
Well, yeah. I think that they have a right amount of hype around them. I think it's correct.
For sure. So why don't you tell them what we did after that?
So we went from there to New Jersey, right?
Yeah, Jersey Shore.
Let me lead this off with, I'm sorry if you're from New Jersey, but one of my least favorite places I've ever been in the United States.
Even after the trip?
No. So going into it, my prior experience was being in Rhode Island. I was just literally everywhere you looked, you were being sold to, and it was commercialism. And as far as you could see, and it was like done in a tacky manner. And then I looked up at the sky. I could remember to get a break from just all the crap. And there's a plane came by with a big ass billboard, like one of those things they're dragging behind them. And I was like, I don't like New Jersey. But when we went to the Jersey Shore where Pauly D and Mike the Situation and Ronnie and what was Sammy Sweetheart, Snooki,
Jenny
Jay
Wow.
Wow. Who's the other guy? Nobody ever remembers.
Vinny.
Yeah.
These guys are clowns. So we saw the store that they worked at and everything.
Yeah.
Dude. It was interesting. No, do you know what was interesting about that is that, I had been in my bubble in Massachusetts, and everywhere I go, people wearing masks.
Yeah.
That was my first time out in the wild, where the people, at least on the shore,
I remember you were on edge a little bit.
they did not give a fuck.
They didn't.
You
were like, shouldn't these people have masks on?
Yeah, because I just wasn't used to that, and I guess it was daytime. We were outside. I'm not worried about it, but it's just I hate to say it, conditioned to wear it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because you want to be a respectable person.
Yeah.
Like you don't want somebody to look at you like you're a scumbag. You know the eyes that you get walking down the street
Yeah.
if your mask's not all the way on, or that's why I was like running for a while at night, and I would only do it at night, and I would always stay away from people because I got so sick of, you're running away from people, but you don't have a mask on, and they think it hangs out in the air.
Right.
But that's a whole.
That's a whole.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was just worried. I would feel awful bringing it back to my family or
Yes.
my parents.
Yes.
Right. That's the only thing I care about.
Absolutely.
So, but it was wild, man. These people were. It was like nothing happened. It was like nothing happened.
Yeah, once we went in the businesses, then you had to put it on,
Right.
and like until you got to your table,
Right.
and it's like the thing's kind of all. It's a little crazy the way it's received and the execution of it all. They're just trying to make people
Dude,
feel like they're okay.
I think we're just winging it.
Yeah.
We as a country, we're just there's no blueprint for this.
Yeah.
Like you could wear a mask here, but if you sit down at a table, then you
Yeah.
can take it off.
Yeah,
Because you're not going to catch it
once
if you
you're
sit
in that
down.
seat,
Yeah.
you're nothing in your body is gonna come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whatever. We're so sick of COVID. Everybody's so fucking sick of it. Let's talk about some fun things that happened. So we of course got more pizza.
Dude, I ate like a 7-year-old. I was like, I'm
Chicken
hungry.
tenders.
I got chicken tenders, like barbecue sauce and pizza.
Came to the table
fries.
with your Bud Light, and I'm like,
I
dude.
should have ordered
I'm
like a chocolate
dude.
milk. It was like the same thing.
Yeah,
like
you
a
should have got a
7-year-old kid.
chocolate milk.
Or grilled cheese or something.
I know. But that's it was your time.
It was.
So
I put it in my work, man.
I didn't want to shame you too much. So we ended up going to the club that night, right?
I wouldn't call it a club. It was the only establishment open, and it was a roof bar. I think
Yes.
you're thinking of Atlantic City. when we
No.
went to- Okay.
I was amping it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
The
yeah.
club.
Yeah, we went to a roof
'Cause
bar.
the situation, and then probably went to that place.
Oh, and it was a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we were there,
It was like seated tables and high tables and.
yeah, that guy dancing.
So here's the thing. Dom is a single man. I am happily married. Dom, he had some expectations going into this
I
trip.
wanted to talk to some ladies
talk to some
on the road.
some birdies.
Yeah,
Some
dude.
birdie. You want to see the birdies chirping?
I mean, they're beautiful.
Beautiful
It's
little
crazy.
birds. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
You can't really just go up to people.
No, you need an extra layer of uncaring and like belligerence.
Yeah.
I feel like.
First of all, you're not technically even near them because they don't set you up near them.
Yeah.
Then if you were to go up to them, like you'd be the biggest asshole.
Yeah, and there was that one mom who had the Newport 100s, and she was like, she asked me if I wanted a cigarette, and I was like, well, what kind are they? She said, oh, they're Newport 100s. I said, sorry, I can't have one of those.
Can't have that.
No, I can't do that. I do like a social cigarette.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm guilty. I do like that feeling. But yeah, the tables are all separated, and you have to go up to the bar with your mask on, and obviously it's weird. We're used to going to bars and going up there and just getting our drinks and hanging out, but you have to go back to your table, and it was like there was like rain starting to come down. Wasn't it like drizzling rain?
It was drizzling because there was a storm coming, which
We were on a roof deck.
Yeah.
Looking at the ocean.
Remember that one dude who had the tight white hoodie on? He was probably 45, 50 years old. You could tell that like 20 years ago he was at the shore, like killing it with the ladies and all that. But he's
His name was probably Tony.
He was a Tony.
Yeah.
He's well past his prime.
Oh, yeah.
But he was there dancing, doing his like
Dude.
finger movements and hand movements, and
The best part about his dancing and that was his girlfriend,
yeah,
because she was sitting at the table, and like she'd like glance over at him a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, like it turned her on. I think.
yeah. She's like, oh, look at him.
Like how an exotic bird might dance for a potential mate. It reminded me of that.
Like, that's mine.
Yeah,
I get
doing
that
all
later.
that, like
Pop locking and stuff.
popping and fucking flapping the wings.
So, anyways, the storm, right? So the storm started to hit.
Yeah.
We decided to go inland. We were gonna keep going south, but we couldn't because the storm.
What was that storm? Isaiah?
Yeah.
Was
Or
that what it was?
Isaac or
Isaac?
Isaiah.
Yeah, my plan was that we were going to stop at the best beaches on the East Coast, like Virginia Beach, the Maryland, Ocean City.
Ocean City.
What was the other one we were going to hit?
Myrtle Beach.
Maybe. And then when we heard that thing was happening, we were like, great, of course.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you only waited 15 years for this trip, and there's a
Just 15
hurricane. And we made the best of it, man. I was bummed about it for the night that I heard it. And then I immediately was like, we're going to have fun either way.
Right.
People were telling me, like, oh, are you sure you should do this? And I'm staying safe. I have my mask. I'm not hugging anyone. You know, nobody's coughing into my mouth.
Yeah, you know the guilt that I got from that trip from people saying you're going on a road trip during COVID.
Yeah.
It made me feel awful.
Do you want me to explain why? Do you know why?
Why?
They were guilting you?
Why?
Because so many people are so scared out of their wits. Like petrified, especially older folks. Mm-hmm. Even though they're aware of what media is, they still engage in it. They still let it dictate how they think. And meanwhile, like, they also wish they were going down the East Coast.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, why can you do this?
Right.
And I can't. I have a responsibility.
Right.
And I don't think, the reason I say that is I don't think you should feel guilty one cent for enjoying your life. You know, what are we going to do?
No, and we were safe the whole time. Mm-hmm. We really, there was maybe one irresponsible moment in Ocean City, which we'll get to. But other than that, like, everything.
DC was a ghost town.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So we went to DC, and first of all, tell them your impression of the White House.
My impression of the White House, wow. That was something to see, man. I'd always wanted to go to Washington, D.C. and see the White House. But when I got there, absolutely because of the times, like, there was several gates in front of it.
The baby gate.
Baby gate. And lots of armed officers with, like, they had, like, submachine guns. And
dude, the White House itself was tiny.
It
was like
looked like a toy house.
It looked fake. I'm like, because you see it in the movies, and
yeah.
I'd been there when I was a kid, and
yeah.
I remembered it differently. But I was like, that's it.
You're like, Will Smith saved this? Are you for real, dude? And then we take our pictures in front of it, and you feel so removed from the White House, like you're at a museum and you're looking at a piece, and then we walk away through Lafayette Park and to the Black Lives Matter street. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know, they've renamed that entire street that's directly in front of the White House to Black Lives Matter Boulevard or something like that. And it's on the street in massive letters, it says Black Lives Matter.
Remember, you were like, what is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it says Black Lives Matter. But what was weird about it was, even before we got to that street, mm-hmm. we saw the gate with all the signs on it, which was like, you could tell it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago that they had these protests.
Yep.
Because there was these.
It felt alive.
I thought it felt like a graveyard.
Oh, okay.
It felt the opposite to me because it was like you could tell something big had happened there.
Yeah.
And the weather had hit these, rain had hit these signs, and it was all it just looked like a graveyard of like an old protest.
I see what you mean.
And then in the background you can see the White House, and there's all these like, fuck Trump, fuck racism, and
Baby gate.
Trump
Trump with a poop in his diaper as a baby. When I said it felt alive, it was more like that was more effective than the White House to me. seeing
Yeah.
that black fence with all the pictures of all the black folks that had been killed wrongfully, or a product of what's going on. And it just seemed way more important to me than the White House.
Yeah.
Because
it felt like we were seeing something in that moment that we're always going to remember, and it's more memorable than just seeing the White House. Just being there at that time.
What do you think of when you look at the White House? You think of Donald Trump. That's what I think of anyway. Right now. And
right now,
it's
I guess,
appalling to me that that's what comes to mind, because you just think, oh, he's just hiding in there somewhere. Because
remember that? We're like, he's in there right now.
Yeah.
He's like, dude's just chilling in there right now. Probably watching like Fox News.
Like, what do you think a normal conversation with him would be like?
I don't know.
How do you think it would go? You think he would just put his hands on you and just try to oh, hey, buddy, like, like pat you on the back? Like,
have you ever seen him? You ever seen him shake a hand?
Yeah.
He establishes dominance.
Yeah.
And he will bring it towards him. Like, he'll take your hand, bring it towards his body.
I wouldn't let him do that to me.
What would you do?
Dude.
What would you do? Tell me.
Dude, if he came in with that handshake like that and he tried to pull me in, I'd probably fucking drop down on one knee and, like, while his hand's coming towards me, just kind of flip it over. You know what I mean?
I wish you could all see Dom, like, contort his body this way right now, because it's hilarious.
But I wouldn't hurt him.
There's nothing better than...
He'd just gracefully... He'd just be like, oh, wow, maybe I shouldn't have pulled that dominance move on this guy. Because...
But you wouldn't really do that.
No. No. It's just a thought. That's all. So we had wonderful lobster rolls, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. What was the name of that place?
I don't remember, but remember how nice those ladies were?
Whew. Oh, in the morning, the chicken and waffles?
Yes.
That lady was singing. I started singing. She had Stevie Wonder on. She said, oh, baby, and I started singing with her.
It was a vibe.
It was a vibe for real. And she said, can I tell you something? You know what she said?
What?
She said, the Maria over here was a coworker. She said, she really likes you.
Oh,
and she put extra cheese on your eggs.
On mine?
No, on my eggs.
Oh, okay.
She didn't like you. She liked me.
Damn.
She was talking to me.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
By the way, with your mullet and mustache right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, dude, people were when I started growing the mullet out, people were like, dude, like, I could literally fucking see their faces while they were texting the messages to me. Like, dude, what are you thinking? What have you even thought this thing through? What do you realize what you look like? I was getting all sorts of these messages. And then fast forward, how many months later, Miley Cyrus is on Joe Rogan podcast with a mullet and saying she has a mullet 4 or 5 times, making it a point. So I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I mean...
I might be a little bit ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve? Yeah. I hope not. And I hope not.
It's going to be a lot more to come, brother.
That thing sucks.
With some curls on the bottom, too?
That thing sucks, man.
Woo.
I respect you for it.
Thank you. I
respect you for it.
That's nice.
I really do.
Thank you.
I don't like it. Like, I think you're a single dude. Like, you'd look way better with just cut your hair,
You know what, man?
Do you know what I did?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Why?
Because honestly, if somebody's interested in me because of the way that my hair is cut, I'm not interested in them.
Yeah, but it's a first glance. You don't get that back. You don't get that, like, first impression.
And they don't get this back. You know what I'm saying?
What, his dick?
No. I'm talking about that ass, the back. You know what I mean? They're not getting this back. So I don't give a shit. This is not for the kids, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
We're going to, it's not like your mom's podcast. We're not going to.
Yo, who was
weird
that?
stuff going on there.
Yeah, but
Last night,
hold on. Who's that girl in your Instagram feed, buddy?
Oh, Danny? She's my old roommate.
Yeah?
One of my best friends.
I'm just saying.
I've heard it all before. I've heard it. We're excellent friends. I love being friends with women because they're so... I like hanging out with women more than men, for the most part, because there's a lot of egos involved with men, and they're brought up in this way that they need to be right and they need to
Can
be
I interrupt
macho.
you really quick?
Yeah.
This is bullshit because she's hot. She's hot. She's
Yeah.
your type, I can tell. And
Really?
you've never said anything to me about her, but
She'll
that's
probably
bullshit.
listen to this.
That's
She's
hello.
probably going to listen.
Hello, you're a beautiful woman.
Wow.
And I think that you're probably interested in her, and you're like talking in
Yeah,
circles.
see, that's what I mean. That's where the male thing comes in. So
We are males.
men typically can't understand that another man's just in a friendship with a woman, and they always assume there's an interest
I
if
do.
they look good.
I do. I do.
I know how men are.
I assume there is.
Yeah. I know a lot of men are that way, dude. You're not
Unless
you're not
it's
by
like
yourself.
unless it's like a buddy's wife, but even then, it's
Sure.
like you're
like,
there's
oh, I know what's going on here.
no,
like
no,
you
no.
think you know. You're like, oh yeah, I know why he's talking to her, dude.
Yeah,
Kind of like that. Yeah.
it's kind of like, but I know you and I know
Yeah.
what you like in a woman. So
Well, I think what I like in a woman has changed a lot recently
okay,
because times have changed us all, baby. And things are looking dismal. And then if you take in, man, people gotta be on top of their psyche, I think. We have this massive fascination with money in our culture.
nice subject change.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's like protruding, it's making its way into every facet of our lives. And
It's capitalism.
imagine if we spent time becoming better people, and then
you can do both.
establishing a society that was like working together. I feel like I never see that. It's always somebody combating with someone else. It's always somebody trying to take someone over or be better than. Or
Our capitalism is built off of competition,
yeah,
and our way of life is built off of capitalism. I kind of, besides of what the bullshit that's going on right now, and I feel like the United States is a pretty strong country. People love it here. That's why they come here.
Yeah, it is.
'Cause
It is a strong
it
country.
works.
It is a strong country, and I do love America, even though I was born in Sicily. But I grew up here. I came here when I was a little bambino, a little baby, and I had like one of them sacks over my shoulder, like like the homeless guys would have. Like
Yeah.
like
With like a stick,
60, the like
you
30s.
seen, like you seen the cartoons with the stick and the thing.
And I had one
yeah.
of them overall, just one of the
One of
things
the-
on the overalls on.
hanging.
Yeah. And that's when I came over here when I was a baby. But I do love America. I don't want people to think that I don't love it. I think we have to get better.
Yeah,
Of
course.
There's a lot of growing. But should we talk about another part of the trip?
Yeah. So that's DC, right?
Yeah, that's
So
DC.
DC got us off the beaten path here because
Sure.
of what's going on in the world right now. But
Yep.
so after DC, we went to Philly. We went to Ocean City, Maryland,
Ocean
but
City.
stopped in Philly on the way
Yeah. For the cheesesteaks.
for those cheesesteaks.
Because that was an important part of the equation. Is that what we're at? Yeah, that was an important part of the equation for me. I'm massive steak and cheese fan. I call them steak and cheese. I don't call them cheese steaks.
Well, we're from Boston. That's what we call them.
yeah, steak bombs is what I order.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, folks, that's steak and cheese with peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Maybe a little bit of hots on there. Oh, man, boy.
Oh, don't hurt them.
Side of barbecue
Don't hurt
sauce
'em.
with that. I mean, I'd like to blub, 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 pouring that stuff on there, brother.
But so we went to Pat's and Gino's, right?
Yep.
By the way, whenever you tell people like, "Oh, we went to Pat's and Gino's," someone's like, "Well, you didn't try this other place that I heard is even better." There's always that shit.
One-uppers.
It's a one-upper. I hate that shit.
One-uppers.
We went to
America, dude.
the two most famous cheesesteak places. in Philly.
in the world,
In
in
the
the
world.
country, probably, right?
Probably in the world.
Because I don't know about the world's cheesesteaks, but
I would assume that
Yeah.
it's a Philly like
okay.
Okay. So anyways, what did you
Yeah.
think?
What did I think of those steak and cheese? Those cheese steaks? Man, they were nice and wet. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
That bread was like freshly made. You could tell there was no sign of any staleness in the bread. You held that thing on its side and the liquid drops out of it. That's what I need in a sandwich.
That thing was leaking.
That's what I need in a sandwich. I like a sandwich that isn't dry.
Yeah. That thing was leaking.
Yeah, it was leaking.
Literally.
And they use the cheese whiz, folks.
Yeah. And I'll just say, like, just to keep it simple,
Sure.
best cheesesteak of my life.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be a surprise because that's what they're known for.
Right. Definitely. Better than D'Angelo's.
But I always wanted to do that, and I'm very happy that better than D'Angelo's.
Bro,
They put
bro.
those in a wrap.
Bro, have you ever had D'Angelo's steak and
Yes,
cheese?
they put it
It's
in a pita.
surprisingly good, dude.
Yeah, but no, I mean we're talking
Surprisingly good.
I mean, we're
I'm talking
talking
like a 4 or 5. Bro,
Yeah, but
out
we're
of 10.
talking like major leagues and like not even single A, like college ball.
You got to be relatable. What do these folks want to know? They know D'Angelo,
Yeah.
the artist.
The artist.
He makes those subs.
He does.
People
He
didn't
owns
know
it.
that. Yeah, people didn't know that.
Founder. But anyway, so let's get past the cheesesteaks. It was
all right.
damn good,
Yeah.
right? So then we went to Ocean City, Maryland, which to me was the highlight of
Hey,
the trip.
yay.
First of all, beach was fucking gorgeous.
Love them crabs.
Oh, and the crab, the Maryland crab cakes.
What? Dude,
Fuck.
I felt good when I was eating
Yeah.
that. You know?
Shout out to my dad who told us the place
word.
to go.
What's his name?
Johnny B.
Johnny B.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Johnny B.
We went to a place called Hooked, which supposedly is one of the best places down there, and it was phenomenal. But
Yep. Bartender was not COVID safely at all. He was, he was just dealing with everyone, dipping everybody's cups and everything.
You're right. But let's talk about so we actually did go to a bar, like a real bar, and it was open for business in Ocean City, Maryland.
Yes, we did.
So we went in, and it wasn't like you could sit anywhere. You had assigned seats at the bar, which was bizarre. Because again, you couldn't. There was some birdies
Twerking?
twerking,
Yeah, on the pool table.
tweeting. What
They
do
were
birdies
twerking
do?
on the pool table, and then they look back.
Chirping.
Yeah.
They actually were.
They look back at it.
Yeah. Tell me if it's real.
I said, oh, Lord, there's a fire.
I don't know what that means.
You know what it means.
But so, anyways, we went to this bar and first of all, and we were standing in line, right?
Yeah.
We saw there was a whole bunch of people just tweaking out.
Oh, yeah, drug addicts.
Yeah, COVID wasn't even. I don't even think they heard of COVID. Like it just did not matter.
Yeah.
You know.
I think when you're high on crack, you don't really think about, pandemics. How am I going to approach this? And then you saw the pimps and that world's here. It exists. Maybe we could tell people about some of the rest of the trip next time. We could go into the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of give some tips and tricks today to folks that are feeling pent up and like they're feeling negative, and I just wanted to give some tips and tricks that have been helping me.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
So what I think is I can't relate.
You
but
can't
I'm going to
relate.
listen to you because
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I've enjoyed COVID because I travel
Yeah.
a lot for work.
Yeah.
And I was running 100 miles per hour.
Uh-huh.
I needed to slow down.
That's very fast to run.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we want to be
I would have
technical-
told you to slow down too.
Yeah. I was
Fucking shatter like your whole, what's it called, tibia? Or?
shatter my tibia.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, you were.
I needed to slow down, man.
Yeah,
I was just going.
you needed a pause.
I needed a pause, and it just reminded me how much I love my family, how much I love being home, and I needed it.
amazing.
I needed it.
That's amazing.
So I've actually been happy
yeah,
during COVID, which is weird, and I get that it's
Sure.
weird, but
Yeah.
I would love to hear your.
I totally
take on it.
relate with you on that. I also, for people that don't know, I'm an artist, and I worked at a music venue, and then the venue went out it didn't go out of business, but it just closed temporarily. And, we're waiting to reopen. So all of a sudden I had all this time, and, I felt like, oh man, like I can spend more time on the things that I love to do and not, I love live music. I love working there. I do, but I relate with you. I really was not feeling too badly, but there are definitely times, being a depressive type person, like I do carry some of those characteristics, and I know a lot of people that do, and so that it hits you regardless. You can be happy. You're going to get hit with that regardless during your week. For me, I'm good for 1 or 2 days a week where I'm just don't really want to deal with many people. I've developed my strategies and tactics, and I just kind of want to help other people if they go through the same things.
So what is it? What helps you?
So
Because I've noticed you do have your ups and downs.
Yeah.
It seems to be seasonal.
yes, seasonal depression.
I've noticed that when it's
It's not only in the seasons, though.
right.
Don't get it twisted.
Right. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not afraid of talking about it at this point.
Yeah.
I like being open about it because it's part of who I am.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of people go through this stuff and they don't talk about it. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this segment. So I'll go down the list. I'm not going to go on and on about it. You feel this is what I've learned throughout my years. Let's say you wake up and your battery's at 100%, right? If you're lucky. Some people wake up at 80%.
Like their phone.
Think you have energy in
Okay,
you,
yep.
and it's at 100% because you're feeling good.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
It didn't land.
dude. We're gonna
go.
have to introduce the jokes. We're gonna have to joke segment on this podcast.
On dad jokes.
Oh yeah, dad jokes.
I just don't know if I have any more in my my database.
Oh my god! Can we open a window?
Got him.
Good lord.
It's hot in here.
So I think everybody has a certain amount of energy when they wake up. And if you don't exert that energy physically or mentally, it's going to come out in your brain. It's going to attack you up there. So if you are struggling with this and you're one of those people that just thinks and thinks and thinks and you're sitting in your room and go somewhere, go move, okay? Go take a 1 hour long walk. Go take 2 hours to take a long walk. It is beautiful outside, folks.
Yeah, especially right now.
Beautiful. You can put that mask on. You'll be fine. It's nice, okay? But I guarantee you, after those 2 hours, you will not be thinking about the things that you were thinking about before you left. You're gonna get in that shower. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna get out, and you're gonna have a different view on your day. And do something productive. If you're hobbying, I've been buying and selling cards, which has been, it's like discovering a new world again for me. I knew
That shit's coming back, huh?
Yes, big time, big time. When I was a kid, I was really into Pokemon cards. And really, I would only collect the Japanese ones. I was in this very niche place for a young kid collector. Nobody was really doing that. And I'll go into that another time, but spend some time talking to someone you love. If you're really in a bad episode, watch something that makes you happy. Play a game that makes you happy. Maybe it's a Band-Aid, but from somebody that understands depression, you have to have things that you can go to at those times, and they relieve you.
Do you know what, though? I agree. And I think moving in general, right? No one ever works out and is like, oh, I'm so pissed I did that. Can't believe I worked out. Yeah. You feel fucking great.
Yeah.
You feel great.
Yeah.
And your mind's in a better space. And getting outside, getting sunlight, getting some vitamin D.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, that
Go out, you see everybody else walking around. You feel like you're part of humanity. We're still in this thing together, folks. I just want to let everybody know you're going to be fine. You're going to make it through. It's not as dark and dismal as the media would have you believe. You can't give them too much power. They're trying to scare you. They don't want you to be powerful.
Yep.
We have to become powerful. So those are some of the tips and tricks. I thought maybe I could think of some every week that maybe, something. Just have something to say for folks in my boat.
Yep.
I want them to feel better with me. I want us to be better together. And that's part of the reason that I want to do this podcast is because I want to become a better person. I want to become a better musician. I want to become a better businessman. I want to have a better mind for it. And I think if if we're talking about it and, maybe we could take callers sometime or do some video sometime. I'm really hopeful for this and I feel really good about it. And I'm glad that you're here. And I was listening to the preview and I was like,
Yep.
He's got a really good voice for this podcast.
You think so?
It's very full. So I'm very, I analyze voices a lot because I'm a vocalist. But yeah, I think because voices are truly unique. Everybody has a different voice.
I hate the sound of my voice, dude.
Yeah,
Everybody does, though. I never met someone that's like, dude, I love my voice. Rogan loves his voice.
Yeah, I think it depends. Do you take pride in it? Is it something that
It's not something I think about a lot until I have to hear myself back. But
yeah. So, because it's an instrument, man.
Yeah.
The voice, man. I talked about Miley Cyrus on Joe Rogan earlier.
Yep.
But have you heard her speak?
Oh, dude. I watched that.
She has an awesome voice.
And she said that she gets recognized out in the public because of her voice, not because of she can wear a hat. It's very distinct.
Very distinct.
Yeah.
And it tells a story in a way.
Yeah.
She was talking about that at length. And I think about that being a singer, having been singing as long as I have. I think back on, however many years ago, and I'll listen to a recording and I'll be like, oh, I did used to sing it like that. And I wonder why I sing it differently. Or, I wonder why I take these different approaches. And singing's a very, individual process, I feel like. Because you can learn from folks, but if you really, to find your own voice, it really is a journey that you go on with yourself. And people can influence it, but you're establishing and you can think of this however you want, but whether it's your speaking voice, whether it's your singing voice, whether it's your voice in your family or amongst your friends, or, we have a desire to be heard and I want people to know what I'm saying. I don't want to be a fly on the wall. I want to be part of the conversation.
Yep.
And so I think you can really take a lot of pride in your voice and you can be present and, without getting too hippy-dippy on you. I think
I feel that. I feel
did come from a couple parents that were hippies.
You did. Especially your dad.
Yeah, big-time hippie.
Yeah. Big old hippie.
50 years doing yoga and meditation.
Dude, I went to your brother's house one day. Mm-hmm. And in the woods in the back, he was meditating, with the shirt off.
Yeah.
Just in it.
Mentally on a mountain.
Yeah.
He said he would go to mountaintops.
Giuseppe.
That's a nut. So do you have anything you want to say to the people? Anybody you want to shout out? Should this be a shout out section?
You know what?
You Rock School of Music.
Tell us what you think. Sean P. Rogan, Rhode Island.
He's here. He's helping us. They have a great music school in Cranston, Rhode Island. I think anybody can take lessons here.
Anybody in the world.
Anybody in the world, because they're doing it online now. Virtually and in person. But, if you have any desire, you think it will make you feel better, and it will. I'm here to tell you it will make you feel better to play music. Come to You Rock School of Music, and they'll take care of you and your kids. You can come, your wife can come.
I think he told me recently he has a student that's 71 playing for the first time or something like that, which is
He
pretty.
or she?
He.
How does he feel about it? Really good. I'm getting the signal he's feeling good.
Yeah. So, anyways, shout out to Sean. Thank you for having us, and let's call it. Till next time. Hey, tell us what you think. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback because this is our first one. We're gonna try to do one every week and get better.
Leave a comment. You know, we'll try to make sure that there's a place to leave comments, but we want to hear from you. What you liked, what you didn't like. This is going to be a work in progress, but I'm excited for it. I hope you are, and I hope y'all have a great week ahead of you. And keep your head up and think positively, and don't let people destroy your mental.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.